Honey is an activity tracker and it helps teams organize their work more efficiently.
What's in your future? Where is Isabella going between now and April of next year that we get to Team 25?
Well, definitely more engaged in the Atlassian community. That is my priority for the next year, to also get to help the younger generations and people that are maybe now struggling and finding their ways also with this whole certifications, because I see the problem is real also in our company.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Summer of Atlassian. Today I have Isabella joining me. And Isabella, we just met in April this year, but you hold a a bit of history, right? You hold a
Yeah.
piece of history. You were the first person to take a picture with the Jira Life crew, all three of us together. How does that feel?
Yeah. Well, I was really excited to see you. You know, I was like with my colleagues, sitting there and chatting, and you were eating, and I was like, oh wait, I know that guy. And I was just like thinking, should I say hi or is it like rude because I'm interrupting him? But then I was like, I came there and I was like, hi, I know you and how are you? And then we just like suddenly saw Rodney and Bob and everyone was there. So yeah, we just took the picture, and I think it's like the only picture from the Atlassian Teams 24 with the three of you guys. So yeah, I framed it actually. It's in my office, so I have you whole day with me.
Are you coming to Team 25 next year?
I think so. I'm not sure yet, but I hope that I'll be there and meet you and meet everyone that I've met this year. Because for me, it was like my first teams, and it was really enlightening what kind of apps and what kind of Jira minds are there. You know, like sitting here and doing these consulting jobs, you get to meet a lot of people, but you never know what kind of applications are there on the market. So these teams, for me, it was really helpful to get to know like-minded people and just like see what the market for Jira has to offer. And yeah, for me it was like a really nice experience, and I did get to meet you and the other Jira Live crew, so that was also like a highlight of the conference this year.
Nice. Well, I mentioned the Team 25 because you're gonna have to bring the picture next year so that
Oh,
we can
oh
all sign
yeah.
it. And then you can have a signed one. I mean,
Yeah. That's a really nice idea. You know, like we can maybe I can print a bigger one. You know, so that like everyone has a
it's,
place to sign, and yeah, it will be nice. That's a really great idea, actually.
it's just so interesting because, like, I don't know, maybe because we're guys and maybe because we're dumb, but it did not occur to us other than that moment, which happened at the very, like, it happened before Teams, right? The
Yeah,
info session
yeah,
is before the event. At no point did we think of, like, hey, maybe let's take another picture together.
yeah. You're right. It was
you,
the Zybert Media info session, like where we all met for the first time before the teams
yeah.
started. So yeah.
So I will say though now your picture was the first, but it's not the only one now.
Oh,
Um, Rodney, Rodney, Bob, and I we got together in Phoenix at the end of May.
yeah.
We went over to his house and we took a group picture there. So there are two pictures, but you're
How
the
dare
first.
you?
You will go down. I know. Well, I mean, it's inevitable, right? At some point, people are gonna take pictures of us together.
Yeah,
But nobody
yeah,
will take away your crown of being the first picture, period.
yeah. That's great. Well, at least I hold some kind of title there, so that's nice.
See, this is definitely so a little bit about me. I am so scared of like rejection and failure and all this other stuff, right? So I was at a conference, I want to say 2014, and
Yeah.
I saw Steve Wozniak. I
Oh.
saw Steve Wozniak from Apple, right? And I was on the phone with my wife, and I'm walking, and I tell my wife, I think I just saw Steve Wozniak, and she's like, go say hi to him. I'm like, it was a Microsoft conference. I'm like, no, because why would Steve Wozniak be doing at a Microsoft conference? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's
That's
like,
weird.
well, so I went on Twitter and like I found out it was him, I did like it was actually him. So I ended up going to one of his talks, but I was always too scared to go up and like physically take a picture with him. Um, but that was like that would have been that moment where I'm like, oh man, it's a really cool person. I should go interrupt him because he was just walking. Like it's not like he was doing something busy or something. Right? He was just in a hallway, and I could have just said, hey, can we take a picture?
No, I just wanted to say, like, me and my colleague at the Team 24, we just like kind of had the same situation with Scott. He was walking by after his keynote, and where he like officially said he's stepping out as CEO, and everything that he said there. And after that, he was walking in the conference hall, and we were like looking at each other with my colleague, and we were like, should we say hi? Should we like have a chat with him, or like shouldn't? We were also like, I don't know. It was some kind of a mixture between scared and then maybe, I don't know. I cannot find the right word, but we didn't have the courage to like talk to him. And then I was like, I saw him the second time passing by, and I was like, no, now I have to say hi and get a
No,
picture with
no,
him
you have
because,
to.
yeah, you never know if you see him again. He's not there anymore. So yeah, but I can totally understand. How did you feel at that time?
So it's funny because Team 23, I saw Anu
Yeah.
in the morning. She was running.
Oh.
She wasn't running. She was just walking. She was outside. My hotel was a little farther away, so I had to walk to the hotel in the morning. Well, I got dropped off. The hotel that I was staying at had like a shuttle service that dropped you off like across the street from the Venetian.
Oh. Okay.
So I had
Yeah.
to cross the street, go over the bridges and stuff. And so as I was going up the thing again, I'm on the phone with my wife, and I go, I just saw Anu from Atlassian, and she's like, go take a picture. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
she looks busy, and she's like, no, go take a picture. She hangs up on me, and I go and I'm like like little side like little stalking Anu, right? Because I'm trying to like get the guts to approach her and say hi,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
call my wife, and I call my wife, and she's in the background, like so I'm like my wife can see her, but I'm like I couldn't, I couldn't, I didn't have the guts. So
Oh.
later that day, I saw her again in the hallway, and
Yeah.
I started following her to go approach her to say hi, and then I couldn't do it again either. I
Well, I,
couldn't
I
do
think
it.
you
I got
should.
scared again.
You, your wife is right. Like, yeah, you should follow her advice more and just
I
like
know.
go get the
Well,
chance.
by Thursday, by the bash party, at the bash party, I saw her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I am not chickening out a third time. So at the bash party, I went and took a picture with her.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
took me 3 tries to get her, which is rare, right? Because, like, Scott, I'm sure that moment that you saw Scott was probably the only time you saw Scott,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
It
it's one of
was.
the
It
things,
was.
like, you gotta do it on the spot, otherwise it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. But I think you're a celebrity too. Like everyone knows you, and a lot of people were like, "Hi, and let's take a picture." And do Anu and like Scott and Mike know you? I think yes, right?
So we took that picture together, right? And
Yeah,
at the batch party at Team 23, that would have been April. In September, end of August, September of 2023,
yeah,
I was able to jump on a call with her. I had like a little one-on-one call with her, and I told her I was like, "Hey, I'm the one that that guy that approached you at the bash party to take a picture." And so we chatted. We had like a little one-on-one conversation for like 30 minutes. So that was cool.
yeah,
And then I don't know if you've heard, but I got this little gem right here. It's an award from being an Atlassian creator. So I'm one of the community leaders now, right?
Oh, cool.
And so Anu handed that award to me. So they know of me a little bit more. And then Mike was on stage too. So Mike handed me the award. Well, between Mike and Anu, they both handed me the award. I took pictures with Mike. I had a little 5-minute conversation with Mike as well. So he knows about the Jira life. He knows about what I do here. So definitely, at least Mike and Anu know. Scott, I found to be a little bit more reserved. Scott,
Yeah,
I did take a picture with him. I did approach him. I think he was talking to Jan Schumacher, which I can never pronounce his name. My German is horrible.
yeah.
And as soon as he was done talking to Jens, I went and approached Scott and I told him a little bit. I saw him at the party, but I didn't interact with him. There was just everybody, since it was his like last team,
Mm,
everybody just surrounded Scott. But I did get a
yeah.
chance to have a dinner with just Mike, Scott, and Anu, um, when well at Team 24.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah,
really
but
cool. Well, I've seen both of them for the first time in my life. Till that point of time, I've only seen pictures, but I also did get like I thought like the Mike is the nerd and Scott is the one that is like more grown up, like more stable, like that takes care of everything. I don't know why, but I just like had this feeling like, as you said, more reserved, more mature
yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It was definitely an interesting experience because my observations, right? We and I don't know. I'm not a billionaire CEO co-founder of a company, right? So my opinions, what do they matter, right? But what I found interesting was Mike was we had I remember I was telling you we had this dinner, right? We had this dinner together,
Yeah.
and Mike, super cool. Like he did the award ceremony, and then he stuck around, took pictures with everybody, and then he had conversations with everybody. Like for at least 4 hours, he was just hanging out with us, right?
Oh,
And then,
wow.
well, so the first two were like in the award ceremony dinner, but then the last two were at this nightclub that we were at,
Yeah.
right? And so Michael was just there, like he was just there hanging out at the nightclub, just talking with everybody. Scott was there too, though.
Yeah.
Scott was there, but Scott went up. There was like a second floor to this nightclub, and Scott went up there, and his security guards closed it off.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, that's
so
weird.
if you were up there, yeah, so if you were up there, you got a chance to just hang out up there. But he just sat down for like the whole night. He just sat down and that was it. Like if you were lucky enough to be up there, like yeah, you got to sit with him up there.
Yeah.
But the moment he went up there and the security guards locked it up, like the rest of the night, nobody was getting in or out. So
Okay.
I thought that was super interesting. I don't have a lot of interactions with Scott, but I know Mike was definitely down there. He wasn't dancing or anything, but he was down on the dance floor area, just chatting and talking with people. Sharif was down there. A couple of other Atlassian high profile people were there, but I don't know. I just thought maybe I don't know. I thought it was weird, or not weird, but I thought it was strange. I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
it is. Well, actually, I was really sad at the last day because our boss, his daughter had birthday on the Sunday, I think, like the Sunday after the Team 24. So he booked tickets, and we flew back on the last day of teams. So we like missed the bash party. I was really sad
No
about.
badge.
No, no bash. We went to the adaptivist party, but that was the only party that we attended, and yeah, we did miss the bash. So I don't know what happened there, and that was like also our feedback to our boss, like please, the next time we go there we need to do better planning, or maybe like fly separately to Germany so that we do not miss the bash, because everyone was like talking about the bash, and also the people that I met there in Vegas, like another Atlassian people, or maybe some other companies from Germany, like their employees that I've met, and everyone was like, oh, are you coming to the bash, and it's really great. And there were also people that were at the team's conference for the, I don't know, maybe fifth, sixth time, and all of them were talking how great the bash is. And I was like sitting there and I was like, oh, I have to fly back, and when they like go to the bash I will be in the plane flying back to Germany.
Yeah,
So yeah.
rookie mistake. I know a couple people that did that. Usually, when it's your first team, you go very compressed. So my first team, which was 2023, I showed up on Tuesday, and
Yeah.
Uh, I left first thing Friday morning, and I feel like that's cutting it too close.
Yeah. Yeah, it
From
is.
Europe, though, from Europe, I've heard Saturday to Saturday is the best window, right? Because it allows you to come in. It still gives you
Yeah,
a day or two to, it's a big time change, right? It's what, 8, 9
yeah,
hours?
yeah.
9
It
hours,
was
right?
something.
9.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, it
But
was not
but the
that
time zone
nice.
difference, but the time zone difference is a 9-hour difference, right? So our 8 a.m.,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
are
I
getting
think
ready
so.
for dinner.
It was really a huge difference for me too. Like, I've been to the US before. I was mainly in New York because I have my uncle there. He's living there with his family, so I visit him often. And every time I fly back, I felt good. So that's why I was like, okay, couple of days, it's enough. So we fly back, and the next day you are fit and you can do stuff and you can work. But no, I felt it this time. Maybe because we were like the whole time at the conference engaging with people, and it was not that we were having a holiday. It was really exhausting at the end
You
of
were
the day.
working.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what I
I
wanted to
was clocking
say.
in 20 I was clocking in 20,000 steps a day for 5 straight
Oh,
days.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I've never walked so much in my life. I had to
No, not
glue or,
me
like,
either.
tape my feet together.
You know,
Did
they
you
say
not
the
watch my
German
survival
people.
guide?
Sorry.
What happened? No, go ahead. What did they say
No, I
about the
just
German
wanted
people?
I just wanted to say, they say the German people, they like to walk a lot, so like 20,000 steps, it's nothing for them. But in Vegas, I also felt it. We were at the Treasure Island hotel, so we like only had to take the bridge. But the conference hall, it was huge, and you were like walking and then going to have lunch, and I don't know, walking to the conference rooms. So it was, yeah, pretty much walking that days.
It
I
Yeah,
I can
it's
feel that.
you would think, I think it gives you a false sense of, security, being like, "Hey, I'm really close," but the Venetian is huge,
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
easy to get lost. It's so easy to get lost, and then you're walking even more because now you wasted steps, right? Like, every step counts. And if you make a wrong turn, like, dang it, like, now you gotta go walk all the way back or around, and it's a big mess. That's why I made a survival guide, right? That's why, right before Teams, I'm like, I hope you didn't
Yeah.
have heels on the whole time.
No, 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 no. I've read that actually. I've read that, and I know I've linked it to our conference page where we did like the planning and stuff. I was like, please read the guide and take notes so that we're well prepared. It was the first time for every one of us. Like, it was me, my boss, and another colleague. My boss went there a couple of years ago. He was working for another company, so like he did visit teams. It was in San Diego, I think, in California. Yeah, but it was like a long time ago, so it changes, everything changes. So we were also excited about Vegas, and where
It
should
probably
we
would have
sleep?
been yeah, I think it would have been San Francisco because I don't know that it's ever been that far south.
Well, maybe it was San
San
Francisco. I
Francisco
don't know.
seems
I'm not
like,
sure. I'm not sure,
yeah,
but it
San
was somewhere
Francisco's
in
more right.
California.
Yeah, it would have been San Francisco. Atlassian has an office up there.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, at that time I was
So
still
yeah,
at the university. I didn't know that Atlassian existed, I think.
so yeah, so we'll maybe that's probably a good, pivot topic, right? So love teams. Like, I love that we got to meet you, and again, love that you literally hold a piece of history, and, don't ever lose it because
No, no.
that that piece of history. If and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but if and when the Jira life gets big, you'll be able to say you were the first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the Jira Live, in my opinion, it's big right now because for the Atlassian community, it's such a valuable podcast. Like, I enjoy watching you guys and also hearing the podcast. And I'm also really happy that you're on Spotify, and so it's easier to hear it from everywhere, and you always have some new insights, or maybe test some new apps, or talk about stuff that's going on in Atlassian world. So please keep on doing that job. It's great. I love it, and yeah,
Thank
hope
you,
that you'll get
appreciate
bigger
it.
and bigger.
Bigger and bigger, yeah. But one can only hope. So, all right. So let's talk about you, though, Isabella. Let's get to know you a little bit better. And, how long have you been in the Atlassian ecosystem?
Well, as an Atlassian consultant, I've been in the Atlassian world for the last 2 years. I'm originally from North Macedonia, or Macedonia, as we do Macedonians want to say. I was born and raised there, and after I finished high school, I came to Germany to study here. I was studying computer science, so during my studies, I've met Jira. That was like the first time I've met Jira because, yeah, we were doing a lot of development. We were developing Java apps, so we had to track our progress and our requirements, technical or non-technical. So we were using Jira for that purpose. But I was like, I was using Jira, and for me, it was just a ticketing system. I didn't know that like you can configure that much stuff, and actually, if you dig deeper, it is really complicated. But at that point of time, I was not aware of it, and I was using Trello. I was also using Trello to organize myself and my life, to be honest, because I liked the idea at that time of Kanban, that you can just like have your tasks. And also for the university, it was really helpful because I could just like write what subjects do I have to study, or maybe what housework do I have to, do, or essays that I have to write. So it was really helpful. I know at that time it was not even Atlassian when I started using it. So that was like the first time I was using Jira, or I was aware of Atlassian, But as I said, I didn't know that it's like such a huge tool. And then I've started working. I've got my first job. I was working as a software developer and project manager. And at that time, we also were using Jira in order to track our issues, our bugs. But we also did use Confluence, and that was also the first time I was aware that Confluence exists, and what can you do there, because all of our documentation was written there. But it was everything like from the user perspective. I was working with those tools, but I was not administrating them, or I was like not technically responsible for those tools. I was like only using them for my work. And after finishing my master's, I wanted to change my job in order to be more flexible, because I moved into a village near Hamburg. I wasn't living in the city anymore, so I was looking for a job that was like near home. And in Lüneburg, in this small city, there are not a lot of IT companies where you can like apply for a job. And one of them was Honeycon. So it was like, oh great, they're doing something with IT. Let me see what are they doing. So I've kind of applied there, and then yeah, they explained what they're doing. That they're Atlassian consultancy, and there is a job as an Atlassian consultant where like you can do the technical stuff, and also do consulting, like project management, the stuff that I was doing before. And for me, honestly, at the beginning, because I wasn't aware that in the Atlassian context you can also like do some programming, because for me it was important to stay, yeah. I wanted a more technical job. So at first I was really skeptical, and I was like, is it the right fit? I know Jira, it's like only tickets, and it's really easy. So I was like, really confused whether it's the right job for me. But I like the people, I like the company, I liked their culture. So yeah, I've started there, and I was digging into the Atlassian world. I was starting to do the certifications. So yeah, it was great fun. Like I was getting to explore the tool more and more, and its capabilities. So it was really enlightening for me doing this whole certifications. And like in almost, I think it was like a half a year that I was working with Atlassian tools, that I've became Atlassian certified expert. So for me, it was a great achievement. And also for my boss, I did get an Apple Watch for this achievement from the company. So yeah, it was really great.
Man, you guys give better awards or rewards for achievements than here in the U.S. Here we get a high five, like good job. That's it. You can work your butt off, and
Yeah, yeah.
and I won one time. Go ahead.
Well, actually, it
I
is
was
also not so typical here. You're like getting maybe a bonus, or I don't know. We have our goals that we have to reach for the year, and one of my goals was to have like two certifications, but by the end of the year. But somehow it did make fun, because for me it was really important to explore the tools and dig deeper, and know what you're talking about when you're with your customers, because they do have their requirements, and you as an Atlassian consultant, it's your job to bring them on the right way, and maybe tell them what's possible and what's not possible, what kind of technical possibilities are there. So yeah, for me it was, yeah, it was fun. I cannot say it another way. Like, it was really fun to do these certifications because I was getting to know Atlassian and these tools that I was working with. So yeah, somehow I did all the certifications at the end of my 6 months. So yeah.
So let's talk about that though for a second, because I've been in the Atlassian ecosystem for since 2016. I have
Yeah.
one certification.
Oh.
I have one, and that's because I got bullied into doing it. The only reason I have it is because I got peer pressured into doing it.
Yeah.
What was your mindset to knock them all out and become an Atlassian certified expert?
Well, um, I
Like
think
you weren't
that
scared? Like was there any doubts in your mind? At what
uh,
point did it become like this is my mission? Like I'm gonna get them all.
yeah, I'm gonna get them all. It's really a nice quote. Well, actually, I think first of all, my advantage was that I was not working with the Atlassian tools, because I get to hear a lot from my colleagues that when you're working with the tool, you're like configuring or maybe doing some stuff in a different way that Atlassian wants you to do. Like a lot
Yeah,
of there are a lot of ways to configure a workflow to maybe create a scheme or something like that. And I think my advantage was that I've started working with this tool, and you know the first impression, or maybe the first touch that I got with these workflows and with this configuration of the tool was the Atlassian way. And somehow I did get into their into their working system. I don't know, like when I talk with my boss and he shows me stuff, he's doing it in a very different way that the Atlassian videos show you too. So I think that was a really great
that
advantage of mine
I think
you
so
know
too. I would agree. I would agree 100% because that's if I had to like summarize why haven't I taken the rest of the certifications? I can honestly say it's because the way I use Jira and the Atlassian tools is not the same way that Atlassian wants you to use them. And and that's I think my biggest fear because everybody's like, "Hey Alex, you know how to use Jira." I'm like, "That's not a problem,
yeah
right?"
yeah
But I'm like,
yeah
"Yeah,
yeah
but I know how to use Jira in a very special way." And
yeah
I think
yeah
that's what would mess me up
yeah
because I feel like for every question I'd be like, which one, which one?" Because it could be either or.
yeah, but the questions are really tricky. What I wanted to say is, like, you have these four answers maybe, and two or three of them are correct. Like, you can do it both ways, but you have to you have to consider Atlassian's way of doing it. Like, what would Atlassian think it's right? So yeah, the exams are tricky, but as a newbie, you're starting there, you have your colleagues that are way more experienced than you, and you also like want to catch up. So I think that was also a motivation of mine. I wanted, like, to get to know the tools better, and start working and really get involved into the customers project. So that was also like the main motivation. And then, like, I did the one exam, the other one, and I was like, oh well, I did get some kind of routine. So I was like, okay, now it's the time. I'll do them all. I'll be the expert. So also our customers, I know the certifications don't matter if you know how to do your job, but this is Germany. They really value certificates. So if you have these certifications, the customers are also more likely to get to to get to know you and to employ you as their consultant in the project. So that's
Right.
also really important for us here.
Yeah, so at Honeycon, am I pronouncing that Honeycon or Honeycon?
It's
How do I
honeycon.
pronounce?
Everyone thinks it has something to do with honey, but it doesn't. It's only like the name of my boss. His name is Hoffman Nico, so it's like Hoffman Nico Consulting. Yeah, so no
Ah,
honey.
no, honey. I've been fighting a cough for like what appears to be like 6 weeks now, and I'm
Yeah.
on a honey diet right now, just eating pure honey, trying to make it go away, but it doesn't
Oh.
go away. But yeah, so at Honeycomb then, Do you? I'm assuming you do more, or not you, but the company does more than just Atlassian.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, our main business is Atlassian. We do offer some kind of infrastructure services because my boss, his background is also from the IT security side, and he's also really good at infrastructure and server setups. So that's what we also do offer. And newly, we also did develop an app for Atlassian. So that's like our yeah, newest member of the family. We do have
Did,
like
did you help with that?
sorry.
Did Did you help make that app? Is that something that you get to work
um
on?
no, well, actually, how no actually, it was really funny how we did get the idea to develop an app. We have our quarterly strategy meetings. That's a meeting where the whole company meets, like every department that we have. We sit together on a table and we brainstorm, like how can we get the company bigger, how do we want to work in the next months, what are our goals. And we did talk about an application a lot of times, but it was never really a reality. It was more like a joke. Oh, let's develop an app. But this time it was kind of different, like we were sure that we did not want only to be a solution partner, because here in Germany we only do consultancy. And yeah, in the Atlassian ecosystem, we are really small if you compare us to some other companies, like maybe the Adaptivist Group or Demicon, or I don't know, a lot of them that are in Germany. We're really, really small. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, let's be honest, it's hard to survive as a small partner in the Atlassian world. So we just like wanted to do something to gain more visibility in the Atlassian world. So this app was our chance to maybe do it, and not only be a solution partner, but also to be a marketplace partner. And every one of us that was doing Atlassian consultancy had some use case in the customer's project where we were where our mind said, this is an app, this is the opportunity, this is the idea. So we were just like sitting in this meeting, and everyone was brainstorming, telling his or her ideas, like what kind of apps could we do. So yeah, we just like gathered a list, and then we went through this list and we saw, okay, which app would be like um, yeah, the cheapest to develop, but yet gains value in our customers projects. So that was the Honey app. And yeah, I didn't help developing it because it was my colleague's baby. It was his idea. He was the one. Actually, he was working with Zendesk in his previous job, so he kind of, got inspired by Zendesk for this future. So yeah, he was the product owner, and he was also helping developing it. He was in touch with our developers, so it's kind of his baby. But every one of us likes the app, and our customers also use it and love it. So everyone is kind of involved. So we like try to yeah, establish it in the Atlassian world.
Yeah, no, that's always such a huge achievement, right? Publishing an app in the Atlassian ecosystem, not not trivial, not super easy. Like there are some hoops that you have to
Yeah,
go through. I've been trying to make
yeah,
an
yeah.
app for the last year and a half now, and so the fact that you guys got it out there,
Oh,
just my hats off to you because it's a huge achievement in my opinion. But yeah, so how does this? Well, I guess maybe I should, and maybe I need to do an interview with your boss, right? Because having
yeah,
an
why
app in the
not?
it starts to change the dynamics of your company, right? Because as you said, right, you guys aren't a solution partner, at least not yet. Maybe down the road. Is maybe again, maybe it's questions I have for your boss of what you guys plan on growing, but it looks like you guys are heading in the right direction. You guys are checking all the right check boxes and becoming very involved there.
We
Do
are
you
a
have a thought?
solution partner and now
Oh, you
also a
are. I think you
marketplace
said, oh,
partner.
yeah, because I'm looking at your website and I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
seeing
yeah.
it.
We
But Atlassian. Oh no, no, there it is. Atlassian Gold Solution Partner. Okay. There
Yeah.
you go. I found it.
Yeah.
Most companies put it right up at the top. I had to go down a little bit to
Ah,
find it.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Atlassian,
Well, it was also a great achievement for us,
yeah,
because
no,
Gold Partner is a
it does sound like it starts unlocking a lot of cool things. So, I think just
yeah.
this morning on my LinkedIn feed, I started seeing a bunch of companies. Apparently, Atlassian just very recently did like the recognition of who's the new partner or whatnot. And I just got a message from two different people as I woke up this morning saying like, "Hey, I'm gold," or "I just made platinum." And so I'm like, I know everybody's excited. So I'm like, usually you yell it from the rooftop saying I'm a partner. So that makes sense. Okay, so you are again this newer person in the Atlassian ecosystem, fully certified. What's your involvement with the Atlassian community? Where do you see yourself as a role of in the community, giving back or going to events or even hosting events? What does that look like for you?
Well, to be honest, I'm not doing it till this point of time. It was maybe because of lack of time. But I sure want to get more engaged. I've tried to visit some of the events that were taking place in Hamburg, but yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to help out the community in those forums, when someone has some problem and is asking questions, or I don't know, they post some code snippets from script runner and they're like, how can I write this behavior script in the right way? I'm trying to help them out, but the truth is, I've been so busy in the last years that I was not engaging with the community. And in Vegas, I've noticed how much I miss it, because I'm not that person. I'm not this typical nerd that can just like only sit at home, program some stuff, or I don't know, maybe configure some things in the project, and then that's it. I've noticed in Vegas how much the interaction with people fulfills me and inspires me, and I definitely have to do this more often. Like, I still don't have the idea yet, but I love what you and Rodney and Bob are doing, and also Brittany with the Trello stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get inspired in the future to get engaged with the community that's in Hamburg.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to the Atlassian community, right? Just even going to the events is one piece of it, but I know that it's becoming a common theme. Many partners have representatives in the Atlassian community, right? Where we're actually for team. I don't know if you know this, right? So at team, you can go as a like a vendor, or you can go as a community leader if you are a community leader. So a lot of companies will have
Oh,
somebody from their company that's like, hey, we'll take care of the sessions because there's sessions for the vendors, right? Like the marketplace partners and whatnot. But then there's like a whole another set of sessions
yeah.
for the community leaders. And so I've seen it where some companies they'll send representatives from that are like specializing in each so they can get the full picture of all the different sessions. Because aside from the sessions that are public, right, public for anybody to attend, there's a lot of behind the scenes that are exclusive for partners and community leaders and the like. So I would highly
I've
encourage you
noticed
over.
that.
Yeah, I would encourage you over the next 6 months before we roll into teams next year, like jump into that community leader side because it does unlock it unlocks a lot of insight, right? You get to basically be more involved and have closer feedback on what is happening in the Atlassian ecosystem, changes that are coming, right? We get to see a lot of the information up hand or up front before general public does.
Yeah, well, that's really great, because you can maybe also give your own feedback. That's really a nice opportunity. But I've saw in Vegas that there were like a lot of events or gatherings that were happening where we were not invited. And I was like scrolling LinkedIn. I was talking to my boss and the other colleague. I was like, "What's going on there? What is this event? Why are we not there?" And they were like,
Yeah,
they have their own events."
they do and they don't. So this is again why I would highly recommend. at least somebody from your company to be a community leader or be involved in the community leader program, because there's like a Trello board that is shared like a week
Yeah.
before, 1 or 2 weeks before team, and it's all the events, right? It's not like it's some events are pretty exclusive. I'll give you that. And even me, like I missed out on a lot of stuff. Like Rodney usually gets invited to everything. But when you have the Jira guy in your title, that usually comes with the territory. But there are a lot of events, and it's really easy to miss out or not know about them. And this is where, again, being a community leader, they usually, like, we have coming into Team 24 as community leaders, we have like a special chat in Slack where we're just like, hey, what's going to happen? What's going on? Where people at? And we can talk to
Oh,
each other
cool.
before and during the events to find out where everybody was at or where all the cool things were at to
Wow,
avoid
that's
that
that's
FOMO.
really
Right?
cool. Yeah, yeah. I think it's also really nice for all of you. You know, you're chatting the whole year round, and then you meet. It's really great to see the people from last year, and get to like chat and catch up on things. That's really great. For us, that would be perfect. Like we know that we have to get more time for such activities because until now we really do have a lot of work, and we are prioritizing our customers and not this
Right. You
community
got to make
engagement.
money,
But
right?
it's now with the app, yeah, we have to get money, but now with the app we've noticed how important that part is, you know, because our app is new, we are trying to promote it right now, and we really need feedback from customers or from Atlassian consultants or anyone that's in the Jira world, because right now, you know, we have our customers, we can ask them for their feedback, we can do feedback rounds internally, but we do need the feedback from the community. That's really valuable for us and our app, because we do have some ideas what we want to do next in the future, and with this feedback, you know, we can only get better and maybe get to know some cool features that we were not aware of. So that's really great. So yeah, maybe if we can talk about the app shortly, because I do have
Yeah,
a
no,
coupon
absolutely.
code for the
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
listening us. Yeah, yeah. So basically, Honit is an activity tracker. It helps customer support teams yeah, do their job more effectively. So it's basically a tool that helps you see who is viewing the issue at the moment that you've opened the issue, because we do have a lot of customer support teams where a lot of agents are working on projects, and there is always agent collision. You know, like me and you are working in the same team, and I'm opening a ticket, want to solve an issue, and you're also opening the same ticket. You don't know that I'm already working there, so both of us are working on the same issue, and the one that is faster will maybe resolve it, and the other one that was doing yeah, the work, but you know, it was a waste of time at the end. So Honit is an activity tracker, and it helps teams um, organize their work more efficiently. I could maybe share my screen so that you can like
Yeah,
get an idea how
hopefully it
it
doesn't
looks
complain.
like.
So you got your app. You guys are your gold solution partners. You're
Yeah,
now discovering we need to
yeah.
do a little bit more with the community. You're fully certified. I think you guys are just checking all the right check boxes. Like it's really cool to see. Yeah, I think you mentioned this earlier, right? Like Honeycomb is one of the smaller partners out there, but you guys are definitely on this collision, or not collision, because that's a bad word. you're on this path, right? You're on this accelerated path to maybe really make a name for you guys, right? And let everybody know about Honeycomb. And maybe having the first picture of the Jura Life crew will help you guys. Just kidding. This would totally not help.
Well, maybe we should market it more. You know, the first picture ever with the Jira Life crew, and
Speaking of
maybe in a
which,
couple
when
of years where you,
yeah, but
yeah,
speaking of which, when you and your boss should definitely come on the Jura Life. I don't know if you've seen, we have a sign up sheet, so that you guys can sign
yeah,
up and maybe come talk on the Jura Life.
yeah, we did so that would be a great opportunity for us. We'll definitely like apply, and maybe we get picked up to come and talk there. For
Yeah,
us,
I'm
it
not.
will be
I
really
don't think
great because
the Jura Life at this point has really grown some feet, right? I
yeah,
do depend
yeah,
on Bob a lot more to help me run the Jura Life, because this main channel that I work on, right? Because this is not going on the Jura Life. This is going on the main big channel with, the almost 20,000 subs, the 100,000 views, and all that stuff, right? So
yeah,
definitely a much bigger audience, and so it requires a lot of energy, a lot more energy, to run this main
yeah,
channel than it does to do the Jura Life, right? But at this point, the Jura Life is starting to grow to the point where it's hard to balance two big channels. And so Bob usually worries about the guests and who's coming and when they're coming. I just show up. At this point on the Jura Life, I just show up literally, because I don't read the scripts, I don't do my homework, I don't do any of the things I'm supposed to do, and I just talk. I like to talk, so I just show up to talk.
yeah. Well, that's also nice. Like, someone has to do the talking too. But what are your future plans? Do you want to keep your own channel, or it will be a lot of work, so you just like switch to the Jira Live and
The Jura Life.
be only
No,
there?
I think my future, like if I were talking long-term goals, it would be exclusively the Jura Life and this main channel. I wouldn't want to do anything else other than the channels. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to help people with their Jira problems anymore. I just want to make content. That would be the long term.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I, I think that's a good transition, because we only have a couple minutes left here with you. So again, you're checking all these right check boxes. What's in your future? Where's Isabella going between now and April of next year that we get to Team 25?
Well, definitely more engaged in the Atlassian community. That is, yeah, my priority for the next year, to also get to help the younger generations and people that are maybe now struggling and finding their ways, also with this whole certifications, because I see the problem is real also in our company, like the new employees that are coming, and they have to go this certification craziness
Yeah,
that's going on.
you wanna
So
tutor me?
yeah, why not? Well, you can help me get famous, in the Atlassian community, and I'll help you get all of the certifications. So it's a win-win
I
situation.
So I'm gonna do the thing. I forget which one I'm gonna sign up for next, but I think it was either the 120 or the 620. I'm gonna do one of those two next. And I
Okay, so
usually do a live
120.
stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I will recommend the 120 because it's the administrating Jira Cloud projects, and the other one is only managing projects. So I think
Okay.
you want
Do you
to
think
be the born Jira admin. So
do the 120? Yeah, but I don't know if you saw, but for the 520, which is the certification I have today, I did like an 11-hour live stream. I mean, I did it in pieces, but yeah, maybe I'll ping you when I'm gonna go live, and
oh
if you want to
wow.
jump in. So what I do is I just study, right? So I just live stream myself studying. So yeah, if
Yeah.
you're ever free on a Saturday or Sunday morning, I think I'm gonna start these up probably towards September. Um, you can feel free to jump in and help me out, and challenge me and question my logic, and or
Yeah,
tell
why
me if
not?
I'm
Why
going to.
not?
It's fun. I think it's a
Why
good.
not?
I think there's a lot of demand. I think a lot of people want to get certified, and are usually just, there's not a lot of community around certification, right? Like I think Jimmy Talks Jira kind of owns that space, but there's not a lot of like support groups. There's not a lot of study groups. There's not a lot of like guides. There's not a lot of just. I feel like for a certain, like if you go do like a Microsoft exam or a Cisco exam or AWS, like there's a big community centered around the exams. And I just don't see that with the Atlassian ones, but I also don't think that they're as hard, right? So maybe that's why, maybe they're too easy and I'm just overreacting.
No, I don't think so. But that's also an idea where I can get engaged into, maybe help out and yeah, help people get certified and get through this exam more
I think
easily.
I think at the speed that you did it and being so new to it, like I think it would be super valuable,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Well, that's a nice idea. I'll take that.
Yeah, because I've been thinking of doing content of like questions type of thing, right? Where I'll put like a quick little short or a poll. Have you seen Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin or Are You Smarter Than a Confluence Admin recently?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah, so there's a new show that Sajid does where it's very technical in nature, and I don't I'm very competitive, so I hate competitions because if I'm in it to win, and if I don't win, then I just get too depressed. So I'd rather
yeah,
just not even. But um, there is value in, people just want to learn trivia, or they not trivia necessarily, but they want to get better. They want to improve their skills, and having somebody that is because you have a good title, right? Atlassian certified expert. Not a lot of people have it. So coming from that title, I think would be very beneficial to have help from someone that's an expert.
yeah. Well, ping me the next time you're studying, and maybe if a new exam comes along, we can study together.
Yeah, I will definitely ping you. There's so many ACPs and ACAs now. I hate
Yeah,
taking tests. It's the only reason I don't take them because I think technically I get them all for free, but I haven't asked either. But I do have one voucher for another test. So I'm gonna take probably the 120 then. So that one's next. I need to make some time. This summer of Atlassian took up a lot of time.
yeah,
There's a lot of balls that I have in the air right now, and the last thing I want to do is add another ball. And so I'm waiting for the summer of Atlassian to be over, and in the fall, I'm gonna come back in and start studying so I can get those certifications. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day.
yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part, yeah, of your channel, and hope to
It
see
was
you
fun. It
soon.
was great. Yeah, it was great knowing you, and can't wait to take. You'll get the. We'll have to do something special so that you can always be the first of the records of the Jira
Yeah,
Life.
yeah. Please, why not?
You know what you should. Well, I don't know that we'll be able to wait this long, but Rodney, Bob, and I are co-authors of our book. So
Yeah,
nobody has the book where all four signatures are in it right now. So if we're ever together in the same room, you may need to do every effort possible to get to that room with us. So you can have the first book signed by all four authors.
yeah.
just to keep track, just to keep up with your track record of being the first.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. I hope so. But you're so far away in the US, so
Well, what
I
I
guess.
might have to do is here's what I'll do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm If and when, because we don't have anything scheduled, but if and when the four of us get together, I will make sure we sign it and I'm shipping it to you.
Yeah, yeah. And now everyone has
Okay?
heard it. Okay, everyone heard it now
Yeah.
live. So
Isabella
I'm
gets a
waiting.
first copy of all four signatures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.